Welcome back to another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K Sapp. Well, man, stop making excuses for Dillon Gabriel. And he still stunk it up today, even though the Cleveland Browns beat the Miami Dolphins 31-6, and it was all Quinshon Judkins in that defense. But we're going to unpack all that next on the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Well, guys, man, I'm here to tell you, man, I had to wait before I was going to do this video because I wanted to see the reaction after the game when the Cleveland Browns beat the Miami Dolphins 31-6. Leading up to this week, I told everybody that's been following this channel that the Cleveland Browns was going to beat the Miami Dolphins because, you know, both of these head coaches are fighting for their lives. Kevin Stefanski and Mike McDonald, they're fighting for their lives. A lot of people been coming at Kevin Stefanski because of his play calling. And I listened to a lot of these reactions after the game. And we got to talk about it, man. Y'all guys got to stop comparing Dillon Gabriel to Shedeur Sanders. Dillon Gabriel does not hold a candle to Shedeur Sanders when it comes to quarterback play. Kevin Stefanski is out there calling plays to protect Dillon Gabriel, for Dillon Gabriel not to look bad. And I seen some frustration with Jerry Jeudy and Thrash on the sidelines because they not getting the ball thrown to him. Now, you know what that happens. That creates a divide in the locker room. And then you don't want this notion of being a diva receiver because you're not getting balls. Jerry Jeudy was targeted 3 times today. He had 1 catch in the first half and then 1 catch in the second half. He had a total of 2 catches today, and that's your big play receiver. Quinshon Judkins was running that ball today. So I don't want no excuse because of the weather. This is football. And Dillon Gabriel went out there and he played protective football from the game plan that Kevin Stefanski drew up. Kevin Stefanski said, look, I'm not going to overthink it. Dillon Gabriel threw the ball 18 times. He was 13 of 18 for 116 yards. And you're not getting nothing down the field. Everything was still dip and dunk when they did throw the ball. But Quinshon Judkins ran that ball. Also, like I told you guys, Cleveland has an elite defense, and that defense is elite. Dillon Gabriel got away with an interception that should have been an interception because I don't think there was a flag on that play. It shouldn't have been called illegal contact, just like the announcer said. That was a bad call. Dillon Gabriel still threw the ball terrible when he tried to push it down the field. He played the safe game, and that's the game plan that Kevin Stefanski drew up because, like I told y'all, Miami does not pose no threat to the Cleveland Browns. And stop comparing and making these excuses for Dillon Gabriel because some of the media personnel are out there saying now that Dillon Gabriel has progressed each and every week. Dillon Gabriel hasn't showed us nothing. He hasn't showed us nothing that he's the type of quarterback that are going to get you plenty wins in the NFL. Because when these other defensive coordinators start looking at the tape, all they're going to do is load the box up and make Dillon Gabriel beat them downfield. And that's not going to work. They play the New England Patriots next week, a different game plan. But all these excuses I've seen after the game about Dillon Gabriel, all the weather was bad. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have to throw the ball down the field because Judkins was running the ball. But that's not going to be your recipe to win each week because they're going to load the box and they're going to stop Quinshon Judkins from running that ball. We saw that last week. We saw how they took Judkins out of the game and tried to make Dillon Gabriel beat them passing the ball, and he couldn't. And then the crazy thing about it is, I don't even think, even though that's Kevin Stefanski's guy and Tommy Rees's guy right now, they don't trust Dillon Gabriel in the red zone. They took Dillon Gabriel out twice, and they ran the Wildcat down in the red zone to get the touchdown with Quinshon Judkins. So that goes to tell you that they don't trust Dillon Gabriel down in that red zone, because Dillon Gabriel's not producing points in that red zone outside of field goals. And you gotta get touchdowns when you're down in that red zone. And people after the game were reacting, talking about all the weather. Well, that's Cleveland football. That's the weather. It's gonna be some inclement weather, but you gotta play through it. It's no excuse. So y'all keep on coming in people's chats and things like that, talking about, oh, Dillon is way better than Shedeur Sanders. Man, y'all gotta cut that out, man. Just by the eye test, people that know football know damn well that Dillon Gabriel don't hold a candle to Shedeur Sanders. But we're gonna listen to what Dillon Gabriel had to say after the game, after his first victory for the Cleveland Browns. But y'all gotta stop with this, man. Stop comparing Dillon Gabriel to Shedeur Sanders. And the fans are still wanting Shedeur Sanders even after the Cleveland Browns beat the Miami Dolphins. Let's take a listen to what Dillon Gabriel had to say after the game.
Your first career win as a quarterback, NFL quarterback field?
Yeah, I think just all together. Try not to make it about myself, but I think it's just about the team. You know, let's find a way to win, come together. That's what's most important, and that's fun. Winning is fun, and you know that your attention to detail has to be at a high level to continue to do this. So,
what did it say about your football team that, with all the things swirling around, and you guys at 1-5, to pull together and come out and put together a performance like this today?
Yeah, I don't know if anything was swirling around, but you know, just on our end, I think just continuing to fight, continuing to claw and scratch to be a good football team. You know, and we know that it's little plays here and there that adds up. But the attention to detail has to be at all-time high, and we understand that. But it does feel good to see the defense do what they do. You know, our run game continue to take strides in that way, and then just special teams making plays as well. You know, we always talk about complementary football, but seeing us all come together is important. Good to see.
How bad were the conditions?
Don't even know about it, honestly. Didn't pay no mind, but no, it's weather. It's part of the game. You know, it's just part of what it is. But I think
asking the question about the weather.
It's all about mindset.
What did you think about Quinshon, and especially using the Wildcat? Kevin said they came up with that Thursday.
Yeah, huge. You know, I think anytime you hit +1 in the run game, you can utilize that and have ultimate trust in Quinshon, but also what we want to do in short yardage. And the more versatile we can be there, the more it's going to help us for sure. So proud of Quinshon for sure.
What can you say about the fact that you've played clean ball, you haven't turned it over in any of your games, and then you also were able to use your legs to get out of some trouble today? And how do you feel like you're operating in those ways?
Yeah, I think you always want to expedite the process of being able to play at a certain level, but you know, there is understanding of natural progression as well. But you know, the process doesn't change. You're going to still fight to be at your best. But I think at small chunks, we've learned how to slowly have chances to win, then finally go and win the game. That's something that we're all kind of molding together. But definitely proud of the guys, and definitely want to continue to be good at the areas we're good at and improve in the areas that we need to. So that'll never change.
Now, you heard what Dillon Gabriel had to say, man. And Mary Kay, you know, asked a question about, you know, him playing clean football. That's what you want. You want somebody to play clean football. But it comes a time where you got to start making plays down the field, because you don't want your wide receiver core to get disgruntled and they feel like they need the ball. Even though you played the Miami Dolphins today, which is another bad football team, somebody had to win. But I give them kudos for coming out with the victory. But Dillon Gabriel did not look better than what he looked last week. So for the people that's saying that Dillon Gabriel has made strides, this is some of the media personnel that I've listened to after the game talking about Dillon Gabriel has made strides and he's getting better. What have we seen from Dillon Gabriel that makes you think that he is progressing in the right way? Because like I said, the interception today, it was nullified because they called illegal contact, which the announcer said it wasn't illegal contact, but they didn't pick the flag up. So it's opportunities that Dillon Gabriel, like against Pittsburgh, got away with at least 5 interceptions because Pittsburgh just didn't hold on to the ball. You know what I'm saying? They get down in the red zone in London against the Minnesota Vikings, and they couldn't produce. So Tommy Rees and Kevin Stefanski saw that, and they like, okay, we got to put the Wildcat in, but Judkins get the ball. So you're not trusting your quarterback down in the red zone because you're not producing points. So for all these people that saying that Dillon Gabriel's getting better week by week, y'all stop that and stop the comparisons to Shedeur Sanders, because some of the people just don't like Shedeur Sanders. And they don't want Shedeur Sanders to, elevate. And see, the thing about it is I'm glad Stefanski did not put Shedeur Sanders in the game in a blowout. We don't need Shedeur Sanders in the game in a blowout. We want Shedeur Sanders with his own game plan. And once he get the keys, like I've always said, once he get the keys, he's not going to relinquish them. But y'all guys got to stop comparing Dillon Gabriel to Shedeur Sanders. Dillon Gabriel does not hold a candle to Shedeur Sanders, and everybody knows that. I see everybody in the comment section, #salute. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button, turn your post notifications on so you know every time Simply Ball drops another hot banger. Oh yeah, just in case I forgot. Tell a friend to tell a friend. It might not be for you, but it might be for them. And this is going to wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. We're going to catch you on the next one. Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.
That's all, folks.